Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're in this beast today. We're heading down through France into Spain and back again. 2,000 miles. Get down to the Mediterranean. My son will nearly die. I took a tumble. I'll fall over. Yeah, all done. My brother's going to get married by my father. I'll be wearing a suit as well. There'll be a little pool party in a Spanish villa. I'll witness my parents playing table tennis for the first time in my life. Plenty of animals. And we'll get down to the coast. We'll cross back over the Pyrenees mountain range into southern France and we'll visit Lourdes.
Holy Mary, Mother of God.
I'll follow a nun. I'll buy a nun. I'll follow a priest. The priest's eyes will follow me. God gets angry and I tell the devil to piss off. Oh, and I get some plain water and eat a holy pizza. Oh, wait a minute. I think that was the other way around. And that's it. Cue the intro.
My name is JJ Adams, and I'm an artist. But this channel isn't really about my art. It's about me and my family and what I get up to. It's about visiting places that stir up my imagination and exploring the world in my VW Campervan and my old Land Rover Defender. So join me and come along for the ride.
We start our journey from Dover in the UK, about an hour and 40 minutes from home. We cross over on the ferry to Calais. Which takes an hour and a half. We've got a 1,000-mile journey down to the wedding venue over the next two days. First part of our journey through northern France, down through Paris. It's about 8 hours in total, with about 5 or 6 hours from Calais. We head through the center of Paris, and we thought we saw the Eiffel Tower, I'm not sure. It was a pretty boring drive through northern France, and we eventually reached our first Airbnb that we were staying at. We're slowly making our way south. Been through the center of Paris today. We're in Vierzon. I don't know how that's pronounced, but there's a dog barking in the background. Somewhere over that wall. I don't know where he is, but he's there.
Hi.
This is my son Zane. I'll give you a quick tour of the Airbnb we're staying in. It's quite basic. We ended up watching Tombstone.
I'm your huckleberry.
One of my favourite films. And we head off the next day. We've got a 5-hour drive down through the south of France. The landscape starts to change, the weather got better. We eventually stopped for a break and discovered something else that Eiffel built. Toilets. My daughter was explaining here how she'd press the self-clean button for the toilets.
And imagine you turn around and the door's locked and there's water coming at you from all angles and you just wanted to pee. This is true.
You went into a strange bathroom and you pressed the button. I mean,
The
that's...
French bathroom tried to drown me. Wow, this is pretty.
And we got back on the road. I don't really do high bridges. I'm terrified of crosswinds, but we ended up going over the highest bridge in the world. I'm glad I didn't know that at the time. And we got down into the south of France. I'm not dressed for 26, 28 degrees. I'm dressed for like 18.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Cannonball!
This is exactly what we needed after a really long drive. So we are finally in the south of France. Nice 5-hour drive today. We're in Brasiers.
And we've been in the pool, jumped in the pool, had a swim.
So it's not bad.
It's not bad. How was the journey?
Not too long, it didn't feel too long. Pretty good services on the way there, but yeah, very scenic.
Okay, I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the Airbnb, show you where we're staying. It's quite basic. We've got 3 bedrooms. Another bedroom. Another bedroom. And a top floor bedroom. Right, so we're going to make dinner now. Well, I'm going to make dinner now. I'm going to be making braai, the South African toasted sandwich, but made on a fireplace, on a fire, on a braai, on a barbecue. And I found sticks and some pine cones, so there we go. Which is perfect. That's all you need. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. No, he's gone blue. Look at him. Come on.
Baby.
Well, he's got diabetes.
I have so much water on my
Come on.
I've got a headache.
You see? He's probably colder than everyone else because he's diabetic. That's what it is.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, do you want to help me set Bella's hair on fire?
No, come away from the fire, please, before you step into it and die. So these are my offspring. Zane is... How old are you, Zane?
15.
He's 12, and this one is 18. And I have another 700. 23, 17, and 7. I'm surprised I got that right. That's the oldest. Don't worry. I'll blur you out. Okay. Okay? So we're gonna have ham and cheese with tomato, cheese, banana and ham. Sounds crazy, I know, but it's good. Tomato soup and braai broodjies. About 9 o'clock in the morning. Kids are all getting ready and gearing up, ready to go, get on the road. We've got a 3-hour drive to my brother's wedding venue in Oliveira near Barcelona. Just gave the van a little bit of a clean the windscreen last night. It was absolutely covered in bugs, to the point where you just couldn't see anything. Topped up the oil, coolant, all that kind of thing. That's when I noticed that I'm standing underneath a mulberry tree. I used to have a mulberry tree in my garden in South Africa when I used to live in Bloemfontein. And so I had a box of silkworms. It was all the rage at school, you know, it was like one of those like yo-yos. And we fed them on mulberry leaves, who then spun silk cocoons and turned into nice beautiful moths. Anyway, that's a really interesting story. Currently stopped in Girona. There's a big sculpture of Salvador Dali. We scuttered round the outside of Barcelona and got to the wedding venue in the early evening. I'll let the footage speak for itself. This villa, Casa Felix, is actually built on a 13th century village. The main street from the village runs right through the centre of the building. As you can see here, this place is huge. So many rooms and buildings. Yeah.
Cannonball!
My son and my niece and nephew are all coming in for a swim now.
Have to lay face down and
Fair enough. Quite an eventful night last night. Up drinking till about 1 o'clock, talking to my parents and family and cousins, just having a really good time. And I think this morning breakfast is about 9:30, about half an hour, and then everyone's going to get in the pool and just enjoy themselves before the wedding about 3 o'clock. And we've got my son Zane in the room next door. I'll show you the view.
After breakfast, we moved on to the wedding itself.
Oh, right. Going to get married. Looking good.
Yeah.
That's my cousins, Paul and Louise, my parents, my sister and her husband, and their kids, and some of my kids. That's the best man, Rob, doing a set. And that's my dad dancing. I don't know who allowed that to happen. The wedding went really well. It was a really good time. I'm a little bit drunk, to be fair. Really cool to see my brother getting married. He was so nervous, bless him. Absolutely beautiful day. Beautiful setting, beautiful scenery. My father did the ceremony. Kids are having fun. Everyone's drinking and having a good time. And the sun's just going down. And then I got this on camera. My son dressed as a hobbit, having the time of his life. Just like he did at my wedding when he was younger. Nice breakfast the next morning. I went off for a walk. Discovered this 13th century well that belongs to the village. Nearly lost my phone down there as well. And everyone was just chilling by the pool. My brother and I and my niece and nephew decided we were going to go off and find a cave.
I'm pretty sure there's a cave.
Ah, it doesn't matter. The thought of a cave's enough.
The thought of a cave is enough.
Yeah,
Deeply profound.
I've already been into it in my head.
Have you?
Yeah, there's old skeletons from the plague. My son Zane wanted to go for a run by himself. I didn't agree with that. My brother-in-law, who's just had a hernia, said that he'd kind of follow behind him at a slow jog in case anything went wrong. Some time went by, and then I got the call to say that, Dad, I need sugar urgently. I don't know where we are. You need a car to get here. Just be quick, please, please. My daughter and I grabbed the keys, sprinted. I actually tripped up on the way and injured myself. We got in the van and we just went looking for them. We had no idea where they were, but luckily we found them. I didn't film this next bit, but after a little while he was okay. He'd had some sugar and taken his medication.
Standing up here though, eh?
Are you doing this to mock me?
I'm doing this so you remember this for the rest of your life. Yeah.
I actually got him in a fireman's lift and I was carrying him back to the cemetery and he decided it was hurting you too much when it rested here.
When I said don't go for a run in the midday sun and take your stuff with you.
Your dad knew best.
You're right, boy. And I took a tumble.
Yeah, mate, listen, that's
Yeah, like I'm.
graze on your side as well.
Yeah, all down the side here. Bloody kids.
Right.
I'm shaking. And an hour later, he was jumping in the pool like nothing had happened.
It's free though.
Right. Go!
Turns out my mother was a hustler at table tennis. When she was a teenager, she travelled from the UK to Cape Town and spent 2 weeks below deck with a young man, learning to play table tennis while her sisters and mother were seasick. She kept that skill for the rest of her life, and it came out at the wedding and really showed my dad up. Bit of a dark horse, that woman.
I don't really mind. It's worth it.
This cat had one eye and half a tail. What a life, eh?
You know, the luxury.
It was a half an hour drive down to the coast. We had some trouble trying to find parking when we got there. We couldn't get down to the flat that my parents were staying in.
That road has been closed off.
So we had to try and find another solution to get them there with all their luggage. So we just dropped them off as close as we could with my son and the kids, and let them walk while we went to try and find somewhere to park.
Yeah. There were 2 parking spots down, or like parking.
So I'll go back up that way and then I'll try and get to the campsite, see if I can leave my van there and we'll walk down. Yeah.
This is where we're staying, at the Hula Camp Sitges. Relax,
Come on,
it's
girls.
called.
Hurry up.
We're currently in Sitges on the coast, and we are walking from where we're staying down to the beach. My 2 daughters are behind me. My son is somewhere else in the city with my parents, and my sister and her husband and their kids. And they're meeting us somewhere on the beach. We're about 2 kilometers away from them, so it's quite a trek to find them. But we're just making our way down to the beach. Currently walking along the beach. Beautiful here. Mad.
¿Cuántas veces me volviste demente? Ahora sí que estoy tan solo, no es fácil. Te quiero, baby, hasta que nazca el sol, hasta que nazca el sol.
I'm going in.
Dime, ¿cuántas veces me volviste demente?
I jumped up and as I jumped up my pants went down. I was
Ahora sí que estoy
like,
tan solo, no es fácil. Te quiero, baby, hasta que nazca el sol, hasta que nazca el sol. ¿Cuántas veces me volviste demente? Ahora sí que estoy tan solo, no es fácil. Baby, hasta que nazca el sol, hasta que nazca el sol.
Finally made our way down to the apartment my parents were staying in. And then we went for a walk around the town. Lots of shops, gift shops, bars, restaurants, all that kind of thing.
Ahora sí que estoy tan solo, no es fácil. Te quiero, baby, hasta que nazca el sol, hasta que nazca el sol. Dame tu amor, dame tu amor, dame tu amor, tu amor, tu amor.
This is where we were staying back at the campsite.
Dame tu amor, dame tu amor, tu amor, tu amor.
A static caravan, I suppose, but they were newly built, so brand new. Floors were quite creaky, very small. I mean, you can't really put a suitcase anywhere, to be fair. And I will be sleeping in here. The annoying thing is the following morning, the builders turned up to finish building the rest of them. Good morning. It's about 7:30 a.m. and I'm just having a walk around the campsite. We got back on the road for the next part of our journey, which was through northern Spain, over the Pyrenees mountain range and down into the south of France, where we were staying at Lourdes. This is a spectacular drive. The kids loved it. We really got into the spirit of it. We filmed a lot of the spaghetti westerns in Spain.
When he drives out, he drives to the gate, there's a bear in there.
So we put some music on in the car to really get into the vibe.
They're starting to go up, aren't they?
If you haven't crossed the Pyrenees by car or bike, you really need to.
Yeah, look, there's a viewpoint already. Oh my god.
I've done this journey on this road in both directions, different times, and they were completely different. One was much later in the year, in October, and there was a lot more snow, and the reservoirs and dams were almost empty. Anyway, we stopped here at Portelet, which is the border between Spain and France, at the gift shop there, and then started our descent down into the south of France, into the foothills of the Pyrenees. We stopped to stretch our legs. We're at the top of the Pyrenees. I mean, just ridiculous up here. And look at that. I mean, just look at that.
Oh, there's a waterfall.
The kids are down here. I think it's a bit too cold to swim with all the meltwater from the snow up on the top of the mountains. It's absolutely beautiful here. Have a look at this. Huge waterfall here. Last time I was here a few years ago, the water was much lower, and this area here was like baths. Ah, stinging nettles. Oh no. Anyway, forget the history lesson. We finally reached Lourdes, Lourdes. I believe Madonna's daughter's named after Lourdes, or Lourdes, or whatever you want to call it. It's a Catholic pilgrimage town. A young girl saw a vision of Mary there in the 1800s. Mary blessed the rock underneath the church here, and water flows out of it, and it's holy healing water. So people from all around the world travel here. It's a pretty special place. Right, let's get out. We have a kitchen. We have a... Where's Jesus? What? Jesus isn't here, my friend. Jesus is everywhere. It is hot. I like that table. The tapestry. We have a table. A room with 2 beds in it. And out the back. It's gotten very overcast. Isn't that right, Mary? Here's the cave, and the rock with the water, and there's Mary. Bella and Zane and I decided to grab something to eat.
Am I just supposed to eat a whole chicken?
We decided that we'd come back into town in the morning and visit some of the shops. And then we saw a really cool lightning storm coming over the Pyrenees. Anyway, I'll let the footage speak for itself.
Holy Mary, Mother of God.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Here I am waiting in a queue to get some holy water. The guy in front of me's got a 5-litre bottle, so I was there for quite some time. It comes out in a trickle. Anyway, I filled up my glass Marys and off I went. Quite surreal. Anyway, stick around to the end and I'll show you some of the souvenirs we picked up. And I'll give you some trip info as well, how much this cost. We got back on the road at about lunchtime and heading for the final Airbnb that we're staying at. About a 6-hour journey through southern France. Lots of tolls. We were heading for Le Mans. We stopped off to get some fuel and get some food for dinner. Before we reached our final destination. I'll give you a quick tour of the farmhouse.
Okay, so we've made it to the last Airbnb on our trip. We're staying here in Lourdes, however you pronounce that. It took us about 5 hours to get here, almost 6 hours to get here today from Lourdes. I've got a head cold, so I feel terrible. Fortunately, it's cooled down a bit now, but it was hot today. It's about 8, 9 o'clock. Just making dinner. We're having some baked potatoes, jacket potatoes, whatever you call them. And then heading off first thing in the morning for Calais. I might go and walk through the wheat and have a gladiator moment. But that looks like a mess, but actually, baked potato, beans, cheese, butter, ham, tomatoes. Anyway, I'm so freaking hungry.
After dinner, Bella and Zane went off exploring, and then it got dark and didn't come back, so I got a bit worried and went to try and find them. And they discovered a pond with some frogs. And on our way back, we bumped into this.
It's an adder.
Is
Careful.
it?
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah, be careful. What is bro doing?
I saw it and I was like, what is
Careful.
that? I almost stood on it.
Morning. Just coming out to check the levels on the van, fill up the screen wash. We're about to hit the road, about half an hour. I'm using the kettle. Looks like it's full, which is weird. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and we've got a 4.5 hour drive ahead of us to Calais to get the ferry to Dover, which takes an hour and a half. And we're hoping to get an earlier ferry. I think you can get a ferry up to 4 hours either way, either side of your time slot. Just need to get fuel, and there's so many bugs here. Kids are getting themselves ready, being grumpy as usual. They take ages to get ready here, and they're grumpy while they do it. Right, I'm just gonna go unpack the van now. Get everything put in. Nice little tote bag. Not that I use tote bags, but I just walked past it and I thought, that's really cool. When I saw Mary's kind of giving you the weird like side eye. So I was like, yep, I'm gonna have to get that.
How is it stressing you out, this pigeon?
Yeah, so no windscreen washer fluid. And that's the culprit right there. Temporarily fixed.
bro doing?
Bro was fixing the windscreen washer pipe that had popped out. Cheers, bye-bye. Smash.
Trip info here was just under 2,000 miles, and it cost roughly £1,800. But that didn't include the 3 days accommodation at the wedding venue, as well as the food for those 3 days. So really, it was the cost for 6 days as opposed to 9. Here's some of the souvenirs I got in Lourdes, some of my Marys. Can also just add that I'm not Catholic, in case you're wondering. My son Cooper, who's 7, is convinced this is the little girl from the magic porridge pot. I can understand why he thinks that. Anyway, got some bowls from Sitges, got some fridge magnets as well, one from Sitges and one from Portland in the Pyrenees, and some crucifixes for my anti-vampire kit that I'm making. No, I'm joking. This poster was on the wall in the Airbnb in Lourdes, and the hostess kindly gave it to me, and I've cleaned it up and framed it. Anyway, that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, click the bell, and thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.